Hello, my beautiful friend. I want you to know that wherever you are right now, whatever you're feeling about money, about your life, about your dreams that seem just out of reach, you are so welcome here. Take a gentle breath with me. Feel yourself settling into this moment, this sacred space we're creating together. I know you're here because something inside you is calling for change. Maybe you wake up each morning with that familiar knot in your stomach, worrying about bills, about having enough, about whether you'll ever feel truly secure. Perhaps you find yourself scrolling through social media, watching others live the life you dream of, wondering what they have that you don't. Or maybe you're tired of playing small, of dimming your light because deep down you don't quite believe you deserve the abundance that life wants to give you. I see you, dear one. I see the beautiful soul who has been trying so hard, working so diligently, yet feeling like you're swimming upstream against an invisible current. You've read the books, maybe tried some manifestation techniques, perhaps even said some affirmations, but still that feeling of struggle persists, that sense that abundance is for other people, not for someone like you. What if I told you that everything you've been seeking is already within you? What if the answer isn't in working harder, in finding the perfect strategy, or in somehow becoming worthy of good things? What if abundance is your natural state, and all that stands between you and the flow of good in your life is one tiny shift in the way you see yourself and the world around you? This isn't about positive thinking or pretending everything is perfect when it's not. This isn't about denying your current challenges or putting on a happy face when your heart is heavy. This is about something much deeper, much more real, much more transformational. It's about discovering that the power to change your relationship with abundance has been within you all along. You see, for so many years, I struggled with my own relationship to abundance. I lived in fear, in scarcity, believing that life was hard and that good things happened to other people. I carried stories that weren't even mine, beliefs I had inherited without ever questioning whether they were true. I thought I had to prove my worthiness, had to earn love, had to work twice as hard to deserve half as much. And the harder I tried to force abundance into my life, the more it seemed to slip away. The truth is that most of us have been taught to approach abundance backwards. We've been conditioned to believe that we have to change our circumstances first, and then we'll feel better about ourselves. We think we need to get the money, the relationship, the perfect job, the dream house, and then we'll finally feel worthy, finally feel safe, finally feel loved. But abundance doesn't work that way. It never has, and it never will. The universe is always responding to who you believe yourself to be, not who you're trying to become. It's responding to the energy you're holding, the thoughts you're thinking most often, the way you treat yourself when no one else is looking. And here's the beautiful truth that changes everything when you really understand it. You don't have to wait for anything outside of you to change before you can step into abundance. The shift happens from the inside out, always. Right now, as we sit together in this moment, abundance is flowing all around you and through you. Your heart is beating without your conscious effort. Your lungs are breathing life into your body. Blood is flowing through your veins, carrying nutrients to every cell. Your eyes are able to see, your ears can hear these words, your mind can process thoughts and create new possibilities. This is abundance in action. This is the universe saying yes to your life every single moment. But somewhere along the way, we learn to focus on what we don't have instead of what we do have. We learn to measure our worth by external standards instead of recognizing the infinite worth that is our birthright. We learn to believe that there isn't enough, that we have to fight for our share, that abundance is somehow separate from us, instead of understanding that we are abundance expressing itself in human form. When we talk about abundance, most people immediately think about money, And yes, money is one form of abundance, and it's important. We live in a world where money allows us to care for ourselves and our loved ones, to contribute to causes we believe in, to have experiences that enrich our lives. But true abundance is so much bigger than any bank account could ever hold. Abundance is waking up in the morning feeling grateful to be alive. Abundance is having people in your life who love you exactly as you are. Abundance is feeling creative energy flowing through you, having ideas that excite you, feeling passionate about something that gives your life meaning. Abundance is good health, peaceful sleep, laughter that bubbles up from deep within you. Abundance is feeling safe in your own skin, trusting yourself to navigate whatever life brings your way. Abundance is the sunset that takes your breath away and costs nothing to witness. It's the song that moves you to tears, the hug that heals your heart, the conversation that shifts your perspective. It's the quiet moments when you feel connected to something larger than yourself, when you sense the magic that's always present if you know how to look for it. It's the resilience that has carried you through every challenge you've faced so far, the wisdom you've gained from your experiences, the compassion that has grown in your heart because of what you've been through. Think about a garden for a moment. In any healthy garden, there are countless seeds beneath the soil that you cannot see. Some are just beginning to sprout, sending tiny green shoots toward the light. Others are still dormant, waiting for the right conditions to begin their growth. And others are already flowering, sharing their beauty with the world. The gardener doesn't worry that the seeds underground aren't producing yet. She doesn't dig them up to check on their progress or demand that they grow faster. She simply tends to the garden with love, provides water and nutrients, and trusts the natural process of growth. Your life is like that garden. There are so many seeds of abundance already planted within you and around you. Some are just beginning to sprout, showing you small signs of the abundance that's coming. Others are still developing beneath the surface, not yet visible, but very much alive and growing. And some are already blooming, bringing beauty and joy into your life right now, though you might be so focused on what's not yet growing that you're missing the flowers that are already there. The problem isn't that you don't have abundance. The problem is that you've been trained to look for it in all the wrong places and to define it so narrowly that you miss most of what's already here. You've been taught to measure abundance by comparing yourself to others instead of appreciating your own unique garden. You've been conditioned to focus on the few areas where things aren't growing yet instead of celebrating all the areas where life is flourishing. Society has sold us a very limited picture of what abundance looks like. It's supposed to look like expensive cars and designer clothes, like perfect bodies and perfect relationships, like never having any problems or challenges. It's supposed to be constant happiness, endless money, and a life so perfect that you never have to grow or stretch or learn anything new. But this picture isn't just unrealistic. It's actually a barrier to real abundance. Real abundance includes the full spectrum of human experience. It includes challenges that help you grow stronger, problems that teach you to find creative solutions, losses that deepen your appreciation for what you have. Real abundance is being able to find meaning and purpose and joy even when everything isn't perfect, especially when everything isn't perfect. When you understand this, everything changes. You stop waiting for your life to look a certain way before you can feel abundant. You stop postponing happiness until you achieve certain goals. You stop believing that you have to earn or deserve the good that wants to flow into your life. You begin to recognize that abundance isn't something you acquire, it's something you allow. It's something you align with, something you become a clear channel for. The tiny shift that unlocks massive abundance is actually the most natural thing in the world. It's moving from fear to love, from scarcity to trust, from trying to control everything to learning how to flow with life. It's shifting from asking, "Why don't I have enough?" to asking, "How can I appreciate what I already have?" It's changing from "I have to make things happen" to "I can allow good things to happen through me." This shift happens when you begin to treat yourself the way you would treat someone you absolutely adore. It happens when you start speaking to yourself with the same kindness you would offer to a dear friend who was going through a difficult time. It happens when you begin to see yourself as the universe sees you, as a precious and beloved expression of life itself, worthy of love and care and all good things simply because you exist. You see, the way you relate to yourself is the way life relates to you. If you're constantly criticizing yourself, finding fault, pointing out everything that's wrong or not good enough, then that's the energy you're putting out into the world. And the universe, which is always saying yes to your predominant vibration, gives you more experiences that match that critical, dissatisfied energy. But when you begin to appreciate yourself, to speak kindly to yourself, to recognize your own worth and beauty and goodness, then that becomes the energy you're radiating. And suddenly, life begins to reflect that appreciation back to you in countless ways. Opportunities appear that weren't there before. People treat you with more respect and kindness. Resources flow to you more easily. Synchronicities happen that feel like magic, but are actually just life responding to your new vibration of self-love and self-worth. This is the mirror principle that governs all of life. Your outer world is always reflecting your inner world back to you. Your relationships mirror your relationship with yourself. Your financial situation mirrors your sense of your own value. Your health mirrors how well you've been caring for yourself. Your opportunities mirror your belief in your own capabilities and worthiness. This can feel overwhelming at first because it means taking responsibility for things you'd rather blame on external circumstances. But it's actually the most empowering news possible because it means you have the power to change your entire life experience by changing your inner experience. You don't have to wait for anyone else to change. You don't have to wait for the economy to improve or for someone to give you permission or for your circumstances to be different. You can begin right now, exactly where you are, with exactly what you have. The shift from lack to love is simple, but it's not always easy. It requires you to catch yourself when you're thinking thoughts that diminish you and to choose different thoughts instead. It requires you to notice when you're treating yourself harshly and to choose gentleness instead. It requires you to recognize when you're focusing on what's missing and to redirect your attention to what's present and beautiful and working in your life. This tiny shift in how you see yourself and treat yourself ripples out into every area of your life. When you truly love and value yourself, you naturally make choices that support your well-being. You eat foods that nourish you. You rest when you need rest. You say no to things that drain you and yes to things that fill you up. You surround yourself with people who see your worth and treat you well. You pursue work that has meaning for you, that allows your gifts to shine. When you love yourself, you become magnetic to love in all its forms. Love in the form of money flowing to you easily. Love in the form of perfect opportunities presenting themselves at just the right time. Love in the form of healing happening in your body. Love in the form of relationships that support and celebrate who you are. Love in the form of creative inspiration that wants to express itself through you. This is the tiny shift that changes everything. It's not tiny because it's insignificant. It's tiny because it's so simple, so accessible, so available to you right now, in this very moment. You don't need special training or years of therapy or perfect conditions to begin loving yourself more fully. You can start with the very next thought you think, the very next word you speak to yourself, the very next choice you make about how to treat the precious being that you are. Now let's gently explore what might be standing between you and the abundant life that's waiting for you. Because even though abundance is your natural state, most of us carry invisible barriers that we've picked up along the way. These barriers aren't your fault, and they're not permanent. They're simply old programming that can be lovingly updated once you become aware of what's been running in the background of your mind. Think about the messages you heard about money when you were growing up. Perhaps you heard that money doesn't grow on trees, that you have to work hard for every penny, that rich people are greedy, or that wanting money makes you shallow. Maybe you absorbed the belief that good people struggle, that suffering builds character, or that it's noble to do without. These messages became part of your unconscious programming, creating invisible walls around your ability to receive. Many of us inherited the belief that we have to choose between being good and being abundant, as if having money or success somehow makes us less spiritual or less caring. We learned to feel guilty about wanting nice things, about desiring financial freedom, about dreaming of a life that feels easy and joyful. We were taught that struggle is virtuous and that if things come too easily, we must not deserve them. Some of these beliefs came from well-meaning people who were simply passing on what they had learned. Parents who wanted to teach you the value of hard work may have inadvertently taught you that life has to be difficult. Teachers who wanted you to be humble may have accidentally taught you to minimize your gifts and dreams. Religious or spiritual teachings about the virtue of poverty may have created shame around wanting material comfort and security. Other limiting beliefs come from our own experiences of disappointment or rejection. Maybe you tried something once and it didn't work out, so you concluded that you're not the kind of person who gets to have what they want. Maybe someone criticized your dreams or told you to be more realistic, and you decided it was safer to want less. Maybe you experienced loss or betrayal that taught you not to trust in good things, because they might be taken away. The most challenging abundance blocks often revolve around worthiness. Deep down, many of us carry the belief that we don't deserve good things. We feel like we haven't done enough, haven't suffered enough, haven't proven ourselves enough to be worthy of abundance. We believe we need to earn love, earn success, earn happiness through some formula of perfect behavior and endless effort. This unworthiness shows up in so many subtle ways. You might notice that you apologize for taking up space, for having needs, for asking for what you want. You might find yourself working twice as hard as everyone else, but charging half as much for your services. You might sabotage good things when they start to happen, unconsciously pushing away the very abundance you say you want because it doesn't match your internal story about what you deserve. Guilt and shame are particularly powerful blocks to abundance because they create a vibration of contraction rather than expansion. When you feel guilty about having more than others, you unconsciously limit your own receiving so you don't have to feel that discomfort. When you feel ashamed of past mistakes or perceived failures, you punish yourself by blocking good things from flowing into your life. These feelings often operate below the level of conscious awareness. You might not even realize that part of you believes you don't deserve abundance. But your unconscious mind is incredibly powerful, and if it believes that having money or success would make you a bad person, or that you haven't suffered enough to earn good things, it will find ways to keep abundance at arm's length. Here's what I want you to understand with every cell of your being. You don't have to earn your worthiness. You don't have to prove that you deserve love, abundance, happiness, or any good thing. Your worthiness is not based on your performance, your achievements, your mistakes, or your circumstances. You are worthy because you exist. You are worthy because you are a unique expression of life itself, and life wants to express through you in beautiful, abundant ways. Take a moment to feel into these gentle questions, not to judge yourself, but simply to become aware of what you might be carrying. When good things happen to you, do you immediately start waiting for the other shoe to drop? When someone compliments you, do you deflect it or minimize it instead of simply saying thank you? When you think about having financial freedom, do you feel excited or do you feel guilty about wanting something that others don't have? When you consider charging what you're really worth for your work, does something inside you protest that people won't pay that much for what you offer? When you dream about the life you truly want, does a voice in your head tell you to be more realistic, to stop being so selfish, to think about others who have it worse than you do? These responses aren't character flaws. They're simply indicators of old programming that no longer serves you. And the beautiful thing about programming is that it can be changed. You have the power to update these old beliefs with new ones that support your happiness and growth. The foundation of all abundance is self-worth. Everything else builds from there. Because when you truly value yourself, when you recognize your own inherent worth and treat yourself accordingly, your entire relationship with life shifts. You begin to make choices from love instead of fear. You start to see opportunities instead of obstacles. You attract people and situations that reflect back to you the love and respect you're giving yourself. Self-worth isn't about thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about recognizing that you're no worse than anyone else either. It's understanding that everyone, including you, is deserving of love, respect, kindness, and all good things. It's knowing that your dreams matter, that your feelings are valid, that your needs are important. When you truly understand your worth, you stop settling for crumbs when you could have the whole feast. You stop accepting treatment that diminishes you. You stop saying yes when you mean no and no when you mean yes. You start honoring your own wisdom, trusting your own instincts, and making decisions that support your well-being and growth. One of the most powerful ways to build self-worth is to pay attention to how you talk to yourself throughout the day. Most of us have an internal dialogue running constantly, and for many people that dialogue is harsh, critical, and unkind. We say things to ourselves that we would never say to someone we love. We focus on our mistakes, our shortcomings, our failures, and we replay them over and over again. But what if you started treating yourself like someone you absolutely adore? What if you spoke to yourself with the same patience and compassion you would offer to a small child who was learning something new? What if you celebrated your efforts instead of only focusing on the results? What if you acknowledged how far you've come instead of only seeing how far you have to go? This shift in internal dialogue is one of the most practical and powerful things you can do to increase your sense of worth and open yourself to greater abundance. When you catch yourself being self-critical, you can gently redirect that voice towards something more loving. Instead of "I'm so stupid for making that mistake," you might say, "I'm learning, and mistakes are part of the process." Instead of "I never do anything right," you might say, "I'm doing the best I can with what I know right now, and that's enough." As you begin to treat yourself with more kindness and respect, you'll notice that other people begin to treat you differently too. This isn't magic, though it might feel like it. It's simply that when you value yourself, you naturally set boundaries that protect your energy. You speak up for yourself when something doesn't feel right. You make choices that honor your needs and priorities, and people respond to that energy of self-respect by treating you more respectfully. Your relationship with money will also begin to shift as your self-worth grows. When you truly value yourself, you'll find it easier to charge appropriately for your work, to negotiate for what you're worth, to invest in things that support your growth and well-being. You'll stop giving away your time and energy for free to people who don't appreciate it, and you'll start attracting opportunities that compensate you fairly for your contributions. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't require you to become perfect. It's a gentle, ongoing process of choosing love over fear, kindness over criticism, appreciation over judgment. Every time you choose to speak to yourself with compassion, every time you honor your own needs, every time you treat yourself as the valuable, worthy being that you are, you're strengthening your foundation of self-worth and opening yourself to receive more abundance. Now let's talk about how to actually make this shift in your daily life, because understanding these concepts intellectually is just the beginning. Real transformation happens when you take these ideas and weave them into the fabric of your everyday experience through simple, consistent practices that gradually rewire your mind and heart. The most powerful time to begin shifting your energy toward abundance is in the first few moments after you wake up, before the world starts making demands on your attention. This is when your mind is most receptive, most open to suggestion, most able to set the tone for everything that follows. Instead of immediately checking your phone or jumping into your to-do list, give yourself the gift of a few minutes to consciously choose the energy you want to carry into your day. When you first open your eyes, before you even get out of bed, take 3 deep breaths and set a gentle intention for your day. This doesn't need to be complicated or perfect. You might simply say to yourself, "I am open to receiving good things today," or "I choose to see the abundance that surrounds me," or "I trust that this day will unfold in beautiful ways." The specific words matter less than the feeling behind them, the sense of opening yourself to possibility rather than bracing yourself for problems. As you go through your morning routine, practice looking for things to appreciate. Notice the warmth of the water in your shower, the taste of your morning coffee or tea, the way the light falls across your room. Appreciate your body for carrying you through another day, your mind for its ability to think and dream, your heart for its capacity to love. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect or denying challenges that exist. It's about training your attention to notice what's working, what's beautiful, what's already abundant in your life. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to shift your vibration from lack to abundance, because it focuses your mind on what you already have rather than what you don't have. But true gratitude goes deeper than just making a mental list of good things. It's about feeling genuine appreciation in your heart, letting yourself be moved by the simple miracle of being alive, of having people who love you, of living in a world full of beauty and wonder. Start with small things that are easy to appreciate. The fact that you have a roof over your head tonight, the reality that clean water comes out of your tap when you turn the handle, the amazing truth that your heart has been beating faithfully every moment since before you were born. Let yourself really feel grateful for these simple gifts that are so easy to take for granted. As you practice appreciation for what you already have, you'll find that more things appear in your life to appreciate. This isn't wishful thinking or magical thinking. It's how your attention works. When you're genuinely grateful for what exists, you become more aware of other good things that were always there, but that you weren't noticing. And when you're vibrating appreciation and gratitude, you naturally attract more experiences that give you reasons to feel appreciative and grateful. Another powerful practice is consciously releasing the old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve you. This can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths and visualizing yourself letting go of thoughts and feelings that keep you feeling small or stuck. You might picture yourself placing old limiting beliefs in a balloon and watching it float away, or imagine washing away old fears and doubts in a cleansing waterfall. The key is to be gentle with yourself in this process. You're not trying to force anything or make dramatic changes overnight. You're simply creating space for new possibilities by releasing your grip on old ways of thinking and being. When you notice yourself falling into familiar patterns of worry or scarcity thinking, you can pause and ask yourself, is this thought helping me or limiting me? And then consciously choose to redirect your attention towards something more supportive. One of the most transformative practices you can develop is talking to yourself in the mirror with love and kindness. This might feel silly or uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to being critical of your appearance or avoiding eye contact with yourself. But there's something powerful about looking into your own eyes and speaking words of love and encouragement. Start small and simple. Look into your own eyes in the mirror and say, I love you, or you're doing your best, or I'm proud of you for trying. Notice what comes up when you do this. Do you feel emotional? Do you want to look away? Do you hear critical voices in your head? All of this is normal and part of the process of learning to truly love and accept yourself. As you become more comfortable with mirror work, you can begin to speak affirmations and intentions while looking into your own eyes. This creates a powerful connection between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, helping to install new beliefs at a deep level. You might say things like, I am worthy of abundance in all forms, or money flows to me easily and joyfully, or I trust myself to make good decisions. The most important thing about all of these practices is consistency rather than perfection. You don't need to do everything perfectly or spend hours each day on spiritual practices. Even 5 or 10 minutes of conscious intention setting, gratitude, and self-love can begin to shift your energy and open you to receive more abundance. The goal is to gradually retrain your mind to default to love instead of fear, to appreciation instead of criticism, to trust instead of worry. Creating your own personal abundance affirmations is like planting seeds of possibility in the fertile soil of your mind. But here's what I've learned over all these years of working with affirmations. They're not magic spells that you say once and everything changes. They're tools for gently reshaping your beliefs about what's possible for you. And like any tool, they work best when you understand how to use them effectively. The most powerful affirmations are the ones that feel authentic to you, the ones that resonate in your heart as well as your mind. You might start with affirmations that feel just slightly beyond where you are now, rather than jumping to statements that feel so far from your current reality that your mind rejects them completely. If you're struggling financially and you try to affirm, I am incredibly wealthy, your subconscious might respond with, no, you're not, and create resistance instead of openness. Instead, you might begin with something that feels more believable, like I am learning to trust that the universe wants to support me, or I am open to discovering new ways to receive abundance, or every day I am becoming more aware of the abundance that already exists in my life. These gentler affirmations create a bridge between where you are and where you want to be, allowing your mind to gradually expand its sense of what's possible. Pay attention to the language you use in your affirmations. Words like trying or hoping or wanting keep you in a state of not having. Instead, use words that assume the good is already flowing toward you. I am receiving, I am allowing, I am grateful for, I am opening to. These words create a sense of movement and flow rather than static waiting. The timing of when you speak your affirmations can significantly impact their effectiveness. Your mind is most receptive to new programming when you're in a relaxed, meditative state. This might be first thing in the morning when you're just waking up, last thing at night before you fall asleep, or during quiet moments when you're feeling peaceful and centered. Avoid saying affirmations when you're stressed, angry, or rushing, because these states create resistance rather than receptivity. Feel free to adapt your affirmations to different areas of your life where you want to experience more abundance. For financial abundance, you might say, money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways, or I am a magnet for opportunities that increase my income, or I make financial decisions from a place of wisdom and trust. For relationships, try, I attract loving, supportive people into my life, or I am surrounded by those who see and appreciate my true worth. For health, my body knows how to heal and regenerate itself, or I treat my body with love and it responds with vitality and strength. Some of my favorite abundance affirmations that have helped so many people over the years include, I am worthy of all good things. Life supports me in every possible way. I trust the process of life to bring me everything I need. I am safe, I am loved, and all is well in my world. These affirmations address not just the external manifestation of abundance, but the internal sense of safety and worth that allows abundance to flow freely. Remember that affirmations work best when they're paired with action. If you're affirming abundance but continuing to make choices from fear and scarcity, the mixed messages will slow down your progress. Let your affirmations inspire you to take small steps that align with what you're claiming. If you're affirming financial abundance, perhaps that means finally raising your prices, applying for a job that excites you, or investing in something that could grow your skills or income. Write down your favorite affirmations and place them where you'll see them throughout the day. On your bathroom mirror, on your computer screen, in your car, in your wallet. The repetition helps to install these new beliefs at a deep level, gradually replacing the old programming that told you that you weren't worthy or that abundance was for other people. Your body holds wisdom that your mind is only beginning to understand. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you carry creates a physical response in your body. When you're thinking thoughts of lack and limitation, your body contracts. Your breathing becomes shallow, your muscles tighten, your energy feels heavy and stuck. But when you think thoughts of abundance and possibility, your body opens and expands, your breathing deepens, your posture improves, your energy feels light and flowing. This isn't just metaphorical. Your nervous system is constantly scanning your environment and your internal state for signals of safety or danger. When you're holding thoughts of scarcity, worry, and not enoughness, your nervous system interprets this as danger and activates your stress response. This puts your body into survival mode, where all energy goes toward protecting you from perceived threats rather than toward creating, receiving, and enjoying abundance. Learning to consciously relax your body and activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest, digestion, and healing, creates the optimal internal environment for abundance to flow. When your body feels safe and relaxed, your mind naturally becomes more creative, more optimistic, more open to possibilities. You make better decisions, you notice opportunities that you might have missed when you were stressed, and you attract people and situations that match your calm, centered energy. One of the simplest and most effective ways to shift your body into abundance mode is through conscious breathing. Take a moment right now to notice how you're breathing. Are you taking shallow breaths into your chest, or are you breathing deeply into your belly? When we're stressed or anxious, we tend to breathe shallowly, which keeps our nervous system activated and our energy contracted. Try this. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, allowing your belly to expand like a balloon. Feel your hand on your belly rise while the hand on your chest stays relatively still. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, letting your belly fall. Do this several times, feeling your entire body relax with each exhale. This simple practice sends a signal to your nervous system that you are safe, that you can relax, that you are open to receiving good things. Another powerful practice is to consciously relax your body throughout the day. Notice when you're holding tension in your shoulders, clenching your jaw, or tightening your stomach. These physical contractions often mirror mental and emotional contractions around receiving abundance. When you notice tension, take a breath and consciously relax those muscles. Imagine that as you release the physical tension, you're also releasing any mental or emotional resistance to abundance flowing into your life. Your posture also affects your ability to receive abundance. When you're slouched over, looking down, making yourself small, you're literally closing yourself off to receiving. But when you stand tall, open your chest, lift your chin, and take up your full space in the world, you're embodying abundance. You're telling the universe through your body language that you're ready to receive, that you believe you're worthy of taking up space, that you trust yourself to handle whatever good comes your way. Movement is another powerful way to shift your energy toward abundance. When you move your body with joy and appreciation, whether that's dancing to your favorite music, taking a walk in nature, or doing gentle stretches, you're literally moving energy through your system. Stuck energy begins to flow, creativity is activated, and you align with the natural rhythm of abundance that flows through all of life. Pay attention to how different activities affect your energy. Notice which activities make you feel expanded, joyful, and alive, and which ones make you feel contracted, drained, or heavy. The activities that expand your energy are helping you align with abundance, while the ones that contract your energy are moving you away from it. This doesn't mean you should never do anything challenging or that you should only do things that feel good in the moment. But it does mean being conscious of how your choices affect your overall energy and making sure you're including enough expansive activities to keep your abundance channels open. Creating simple daily rituals that honor your body-mind connection can dramatically shift your relationship with abundance. You might start your day with a few minutes of gentle stretching and deep breathing, setting an intention to remain open and receptive throughout the day. You might end your day with a warm bath or shower, visualizing any stress or tension washing away as you prepare to rest and restore. Some people find it helpful to create physical anchors for their abundance intentions. This might be a special piece of jewelry that you wear to remind yourself of your worth, a crystal or stone that you keep in your pocket as a reminder to stay open to receiving, or a small object on your desk that represents your abundance goals. These physical reminders help you stay connected to your intentions throughout the busyness of daily life. The integration of these abundance practices into your daily life is where the real magic happens, because all the understanding in the world won't change your life unless you take consistent action to implement what you've learned. The goal isn't to become perfect at these practices, but to find sustainable ways to weave them into the fabric of your everyday experience. Start small and be realistic about what you can maintain. It's better to do one simple practice consistently than to try to do everything perfectly for a few days and then abandon it all when life gets busy. You might choose to spend just 5 minutes each morning setting your intention and feeling grateful, or to say one abundance affirmation while you're brushing your teeth, or to take 3 conscious breaths before you get out of your car each time you arrive somewhere. As these small practices become natural and automatic, you can gradually add more layers. The key is to build slowly and consistently, allowing each new habit to become integrated before adding the next one. This patient approach ensures that your new abundance mindset becomes a permanent part of who you are, rather than something you do when you remember to. Journaling can be an incredibly powerful tool for deepening your abundance work. Writing down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences helps you become more aware of your patterns and progress. You might keep an abundance journal where you record things you're grateful for, abundance affirmations that resonate with you, insights about your limiting beliefs, and evidence of abundance already flowing in your life. Here are some journaling prompts that can help you explore your relationship with abundance more deeply. What did I appreciate about myself today? What evidence did I see today that the universe supports me? What old belief about abundance am I ready to release? What would I do if I knew I was worthy of having everything I desire? How did I treat myself with love and kindness today? What opportunities did I notice today that I might have missed before? When old patterns and limiting beliefs surface, and they will, treat them with compassion rather than frustration. These patterns served a purpose at some point in your life, even if they no longer serve you now. Instead of fighting against them or judging yourself for having them, you can acknowledge them gently and then choose to respond differently. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm safe now to receive abundance. I choose love instead of fear. Building new neural pathways takes time and repetition. Your brain is incredibly adaptable, but it also likes familiar patterns because they feel safe and require less energy. When you're learning new ways of thinking and being, it's normal for your mind to default back to old patterns sometimes. This isn't failure, it's just part of the process. Each time you notice an old pattern and consciously choose a new response, you're strengthening the new neural pathways and making the new pattern more automatic. Surround yourself with reminders and support for your abundance journey. This might mean finding books, podcasts, or videos that reinforce positive messages about abundance and self-worth. It might mean spending more time with people who believe in your dreams and less time with people who consistently focus on what's wrong or impossible. It might mean decorating your space with images, words, or objects that remind you of your abundance goals and your inherent worth. Be patient with yourself as you develop these new habits and ways of being. Change happens in waves rather than straight lines. Some days you'll feel amazing and abundant and grateful for everything in your life. Other days you'll feel discouraged and worried and wonder if any of this actually works. Both experiences are normal and part of the journey. The key is to keep returning to your practices. Keep choosing love over fear. Keep treating yourself with kindness and respect. Celebrate small wins along the way. When you notice that you spoke to yourself more kindly than usual, celebrate that. When you catch yourself falling into old patterns but choose to redirect your thoughts, celebrate that awareness and choice. When unexpected money comes to you or a new opportunity presents itself, acknowledge that your abundance work is having an effect. These celebrations reinforce the positive changes and help your mind recognize evidence of abundance flowing in your life. My beloved friend, as we come to the end of our time together today, I want you to know how proud I am of you for being here, for being open to change, for being willing to look at your life with fresh eyes and an open heart. The fact that you're here tells me everything I need to know about your courage, your wisdom, and your commitment to creating a more abundant, joyful life. What we've explored together today isn't just theory or wishful thinking. It's the foundation of a way of living that has transformed millions of lives, including my own. The tiny shift from fear to love, from scarcity to abundance, from self-criticism to self-compassion is the most practical and powerful thing you can do to change your entire life experience. You already have everything you need to begin this transformation. You don't need to wait for anything outside of you to change. You don't need permission from anyone else. You don't need to become perfect or figure everything out before you start. You can begin right now, exactly where you are, with exactly what you have, simply by choosing to treat yourself with a little more love and kindness than you did yesterday. Remember that abundance is not a destination you arrive at, but a way of traveling through life. It's about appreciating what you have while staying open to what's coming. It's about trusting that you are worthy of good things not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. It's about understanding that the universe is infinitely abundant, and there is more than enough for everyone, including you. The changes you make in your inner world will ripple out into your outer world in ways that may surprise and delight you. As you learn to love and value yourself more fully, life will reflect that love back to you through countless channels. Opportunities will appear, relationships will improve, resources will flow more easily, and you'll find yourself living from a place of trust and joy rather than fear and struggle. Be gentle with yourself as you integrate these new ways of thinking and being. Change takes time, and you're rewiring patterns that may have been in place for decades. Every small step you take, every moment you choose love over fear, every time you speak to yourself with kindness, you are creating powerful momentum toward the abundant life that is your birthright. Trust the process, trust yourself, and trust that the universe is conspiring to help you succeed. You are so much more powerful than you know, so much more worthy than you've been taught to believe, and so much more loved than you can imagine. The tiny shift that unlocks massive abundance is happening within you right now, in this very moment, as you open your heart to the possibility that life wants to give you everything you need to be happy, healthy, and free. Your abundant life is not a someday dream. It's a present moment reality that becomes more available to you each time you choose to see yourself and your world through the eyes of love. You are abundance expressing itself in human form, and it's time to let your light shine as brightly as you were meant to shine. I love you, I believe in you, and I know that all is well in your world.